right now. Listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime.
That's great.
This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth right now.
Ooh.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it.
Hit it.
It's time for Mac's World. And here we go.
Everybody, let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Call Mac 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody. Showtime.
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
6 minutes after 4 o'clock, 4:06 on the 25th day of May in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy. Welcome to the Wednesday afternoon edition of Mac's World Live. Chris is not feeling well today. He's taking the day off. His daughter, Katie, is rubbing and giving him a foot massage. So, the best place you can work on your sinuses is a reflexology. You know what reflexology is, Frank?
No, inform me. It has something to do with your feet?
Every nerve ending that you have anywhere in your head or your body or your hands or your arms or your legs ends up in your feet. And so depending on where you rub on a foot, that will help reduce pain and anxiety. For instance, the big toe is a headache. I know I didn't mean that way. If you have a headache, then you would rub the big toe, and you should really rub the sides, not necessarily the top and the bottom. And if you do that correctly, that would be your wife not saying, ouch, stop it, and your wife going, oh, man, does that feel good? Then you can get rid of a headache. So someplace in your, like, for instance, do you have anything that hurts right now besides your pride?
No.
So you're painless. Those of us around you cannot say that. Okay, all right.
I have emotional pains, but those
emotional pains.
Those aren't visible to the listening audience.
Well, and they also can't be fixed by rubbing your feet.
That's right.
Sinuses. Sinuses are right on the ball under your big toe. Right underneath that shelf, that little ball that rests on, and then your arch starts to go up. Rub right underneath that, and you can clear up sinuses.
And the thumb and the finger in the eye sockets right above the bridge of the nose. Push in that area when you have a headache.
Really?
Right in the eye sockets. Right here.
It's glad to know that. It's radio, Frank. Thanks for pointing out where that is. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
My guest today is Alan Little. Alan wants to dream big.
Yes.
Doesn't want to just dream. He wants to dream big.
Big.
So today on the radio, we're having a dream big party. What is your dream? And not just your little dream. Oh, my dream would be to go to the movie tonight and see the new John Travolta movie. No, that's not a dream. I'm talking about life-changing dreams. I'm talking about that thing that you don't speak out loud because you're afraid somebody will burst your bubble. You'll pepper up and I'll say, what are you passionate about? What's your big dream? And you'll say, oh, I want to be a race car driver. And somebody will say, you're too fat to be a race car driver, Mac. And my bubble is burst. Because maybe if I really want to be a race car driver, maybe I got to lose 50 pounds to do it. Slip in those cars. Now, the honest truth is I'm way too old. And I'm scared. I'm scared to get hit in a car. It always freaks me out. I don't like it. Who does, I guess? I don't even like bumper cars. But the point is, if you've got a dream, speak it. Speak it into the air. Speak it into the truth. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't want to hear your voice on the radio, then we have the Service Legends Truth text line at 809-0993, obviously 515. So what is your big dream? Now, Alan, why is this so important to you? Have you experienced achieving dreams that you've had and you thought if you hadn't tried so hard, it wouldn't have happened?
Yes. I believe that dreams are significant because it gives us a sense of purpose in life. I believe that happiness is just a side effect of us doing what we're here to do. And our direction we go is steered by our dreams. If we take a ship, and what is a ship made to do? It's meant to sail the sea and everything. They say that, yes, it's dangerous to ride in a ship. It can sink and everything, but it's infinitely more dangerous for a ship to sit at bay and do absolutely nothing because it starts to decay and erode and all of that. I believe us human beings are the exact same way. If we sit and do nothing with our God-given talents, then we just kind of erode, we get sad, we get depressed, and everything. What was that?
No, go ahead.
Don't pay any attention to him.
Oh, okay.
He's Frank the Invisible Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't pay attention to him and we don't name them,
yes,
how can they come true?
It's not. How can you, if closed mouths don't get fed?
Right. Very good. All right. 515-244-0077, Frank.
What do you have to say to a lot of young people that's particularly in our country in this vast land of opportunity? Mm-hmm. I mean, the United States is unlike any other probably nation in the world, the opportunity that can be had here. But so many young people have so much talent and squander it on things such as drugs, whatever they're, chasing and pursuing this or that. Mm-hmm. What do you say to individuals like that as somebody who may at some point be a motivational speaker to take the opportunities this country offers and go with them instead of groaning about what they don't have?
Yeah. I believe that we are the sum total of the people we hang around. A lot of us young people, we like to try to fit in or be cool. Like even for me, there was a time, would you believe me, that I kind of thought I wanted to be a rapper. I'm horrible at rapping. I should never even try that. But I believe that in my neighborhood, everyone who makes it has to be a rapper, you see? So for us younger people, we just want to have fun. We want to enjoy life and everything. But it's hard for us to believe, sometimes it appears to be hard to believe that doing what we want to do, like maybe be a painter, an artist, or a musician, it's unrealistic or we can never be happy doing it. We don't even want to try it, you see? So we have to create our reality with our friends. If we're surrounded by people who just smoke and drink and do nothing with their lives, we have to change our friends. This is exactly why I got up and just left Illinois, just left. You see?
I'm in recovery, as you know. I've been sober a little over 6 years. In recovery, we say, but you got to change your playmates and playgrounds.
Yes.
You got to change playmates and playgrounds, or nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
All right. Remind me to tell you the story about painting. I want to tell you that. Okay. All right. 515-244-0077. That's the call-in line, or you can text the Service Legends Truth text line. We'll go to Bob with a couple texts. First, let's go to the phone where Wendy from Nevada. Wendy, hi, you're live in Max World. How you doing today? What's the big dream? Come on, speak it. Speak it into the air, Wendy, and we'll make it happen.
Well, hey, the dream isn't for me. It's for my husband. My husband needs a job.
Okay.
And he is a master marketer, if you've ever known one.
A master marketer?
He's a marketing genius.
Okay.
And he's got a track record that proves what he can do. But the only thing that's holding him back is he doesn't have the degree.
Degree in what?
I don't know. Everybody wants a degree. It doesn't matter what it's in.
Well, what he needs to do is you put it out there. So if you've got a business out there, or you are in need of somebody who's a marketing genius, and maybe it's not a full-time gig, maybe it's a part-time gig. Everybody starts somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You get a hold of me, and I'll put you in touch with Wendy. And Wendy will put you in touch with her husband. Maybe you've got a small business out there, a small family-owned business, and marketing is just so difficult for you. I mean, you got to do the payroll, you got to do the inventory, you got to take care of the customers, you've got to take care of the employees, the building. I mean, how can you ever think about marketing when all that stuff's going on? So you bring Wendy's husband in, and if he's like she says he is, there's your answer. There's your answer to your big dream of finding somebody to help you market your business.
Can I just add something else into that? The other day we were talking, me and my husband, and I said, Tim, there's someone out there that needs your skills. There's someone out there that needs you. We just need to know how to find that person that needs you. And then all of a sudden, here comes your show today. Over the airwaves.
That's good. That's good, Alan.
Yeah, I think I know a guy. My mentor, Jeremy Larson, the guy who owns business. We were actually talking, and he needs someone. We all need someone that can do marketing. I mean, the degree, in my opinion, like when it comes to degrees, that's great and all. But like, it's really, if he's a knowledgeable guy, if we can trust him and all, then we can all talk.
All right, Wendy. When you hang up, don't hang up. Give your phone number to Jebediah. And and then Jebediah will give it to you, Alan, and then you can take it to Jeremy.
Jeremy.
All right. All right, Wendy. Thank you very much. Let's see what happens. Let's see what God can do. God's on the move in a big way.
All right.
All right, thanks. 515-809-0993. That's the Service Legends Truth text line. Bob, give me some big dreams on the line.
Okay, I guess it's hard to say because I don't consider mine a dream. I consider it a goal. My husband and I both working towards being full-time interim ministers, traveling around the country in our campers to assist churches in whatever work that they need. We want to help Christians also to stop fighting without compromising their convictions. I guess that's my dream and my goal and what I'm working towards.
So the question I would have for that individual is, what are you doing? You say you're working towards it. What are you doing? You know, I'll go back to the story about the young man I told you about. What's your passion? What would you like to do? I'd love to be a golf pro. Oh, when did you play golf last? Well, they're not doing anything but dreaming it. They're just letting it spin in their head. Don't let that dream of being a minister in a motorhome and helping other churches become just a dream. I'm thinking right now there's a church here in town that's about to take a mission trip to Utah to witness to the Mormons. Maybe they'd like to have that motorhome of yours and you and your husband lead a band of kids or young people, they're not kids, they're young people, out to Utah. And maybe that's just take a vacation. Maybe take a 1 week vacation and go do that. Would that start that? Do you think God could then lead you to other steps? Just an idea. 515-244-0077. That's the studio line. You can be Bob or Betty if you want to be anonymous. Or you can call us or text us, rather, on the Truth text line from Service Legends at 515-809-0993. Frank, do you have a dream?
Yes.
Frank will share his dream with us next, live here on The Truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rock and Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rock and Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after the hour of 4 o'clock, 4:21. You know, maybe what your big dream is to retire. And to retire well. Well, you got to start now. Now, maybe you think you're past that time when you can build towards a retirement. Perhaps you are. Most people are not. I'm 57 years old and I'm rethinking retirement. I'm rethinking because I was really good at making money. I was really lousy at saving it. I'd always take the money and I'd reinvest it. There are some friends of mine, and you know who I'm going to say, Weiss Merkel Financial. Those boys know how to make it happen. In fact, you went to one of the empowerment sessions, retirement empowerment.
Right, last Thursday.
And you're going again tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll be interested to hear about that. So if one of your dreams is to retire well, or maybe just to retire, Weiss Merkel Financial, 278-4110. Call today, and we'll give you some free tickets to that seminar tomorrow night, free of charge, and you get a big, thick workbook, and it is worth every minute. You'll hear something that you need to hear about your retirement plans. Weiss Merkel Financial. Tell them Max sent you. 515-244-0077. That is the number to, that's the number to call us and share your big dream with us. Because you know what my theory is? You're going to get on the radio and you're going to share your dream, and somebody out there listening will be put in place by God. The Holy Spirit will move, and bingo, connection. We may have made one already today. Wendy's husband wants to be a marketing person for a business. Alan has a friend who needs a marketing person. Now, all we can do is make the connection, right, Alan?
Yeah, that's all.
Make the connection and pray. But we can't make a connection unless you call in and tell us what your dream is. 515-809-0993. That's the Service Legends Truth text line. Give me some of your big dreams on text, Bob.
I have two more. One is I have always wanted to be in politics. So should we have
Steve Dace? Check that number.
Should we have him contact Tom? Or
well, what do they want to do in politics? Do they want to run for office? Do they want to work for a campaign?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Well, I mean, who that person is, if you want to work on a campaign, we are blessed enough to work with a lot of campaigns. I'm thinking about David Young, the congressman. I'm thinking about Steve King, who comes in here all the time. I'm thinking about anybody who's in an office locally. Maybe your politics is the mayor of your little town. Maybe the politics is city council. Maybe you want to be dog catcher. Boy, you better know that's politics. So
you have to start small and work your way up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like anything. You got to pay your dues.
Yeah.
You want to be one of the big dogs, you got to get up on the porch. And you can't get up on the porch unless you take one step at a time. But that person wants to be in politics. Let's talk. Call me. Email me. Text me. All right, what else?
You know a lot of politicians. That's correct.
I unfortunately do know a lot of politicians. It comes with the job. Believe me, I don't want to know. They are not. It's not that they're not good people. They're all good people in any way, sure, except Hillary. Every one of them else, though, is a good person. It's just politics is a real dirty game. It's just, it's real hard. I've talked to David over and over, and he talks about how it's just, he knew what to expect because he was Grassley's right-hand guy. But still, when you're the candidate, it still comes at you pretty fast. But, hey, love to hear from you. All right, 515-244-0077. Let's go to Paul in Des Moines. Paul, you're live in Max World. What's your big dream?
Well, my big dream was to be an apologetic or theology kind of, just to communicate stuff like that. After the things I learned after I think it was around 2007 or so like that. That's when I recommitted my life to Christ before committing or trying to commit suicide or something like that after a divorce. But that's when my whole life changed for me. I wanted to study a lot. So now I just tell everybody, and most people I annoy, and they'd prefer not me talk to them. So that's why.
No, that's not true, Paul. That's not. You don't annoy me. You don't annoy Frank. You don't annoy Bob. Does he annoy you, Alan? He doesn't. Paul,
not at all.
Yeah, Jebediah, does he? Oh, I guess you do annoy Jebediah a little bit, but Paul, he's young.
I call him up, I make him laugh.
Yeah, I like Paul. I don't know what you're talking about, Max.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you
Paul's
been...
my favorite caller.
No, I've actually had some people tell me that as long as if I don't have their particular theology and take their direct understanding, then I'm doomed myself to hell and that kind of thing. And
don't talk to those kind of people, Paul. Those are wacky people.
Oh, well, hold on a second. Those are the people you got to try to get because they're always the people talking to someone else. And when they do that, they crush other people's spirit.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit himself doesn't appreciate that.
Yeah, I went to a Bible study the other day, brand new Bible study. Didn't know any of these guys in there. Met this guy literally in the front yard. He invited me to a Bible study. I said, I'll come. 12 minutes into the Bible study, the leader of the Bible study said, well, Mac, I can tell by what you're saying you're not a Christian. Oh, and by the way, you don't have salvation.
Yeah.
And that pastor that you like at your church, he's not a Christian either. Yeah. I'm like, what? So,
Yeah. That gets kind of scary because, like I said, I believe myself. Like I said, I study Revelation. I was brought up on that when I was a kid as a Baptist, and I do believe we're close to, I'd say, the end times as far as the security of the United States goes, because the things we're doing here, it will be the same as Israel or any other country, and that kind of thing, that God will take his hand off us eventually, and that's what I try to talk about the most, and how to discuss that with people.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Paul. Is that okay?
Sure.
Do I have your permission?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
You know I care about you, but I'm going to put you on the spot. You say you want to be an apologist.
Sure.
Did you go to Ryan Jorgensen's free apologetics classes at Harvest Chapel?
Yes, I did.
Oh, all right!
I attended one of those, and I was talking to him on the internet, and I think I thoroughly offended him. So.
Oh no, Ryan's not easily offended. What did you say that you think you offended him?
Well, anybody that goes out of the way to call me a prideful person really doesn't know me very well. I have my take on the Trinity and that kind of concept, because I call myself a Messianic Jew. My mother was Jewish, my father's Christian, that kind of thing, and the way I was raised, the Trinity that I understand it from the Council of Trent was a little bit different the way the Jewish tradition teaches it too. So that's where the church actually got its issues at before. So I think I offended him on that.
Well, let me tell you something. It's funny you should talk about this. Yesterday morning, this is Wednesday, right, Frank? Yes. Yesterday morning in our Bible study, I asked the question. I don't remember what we were talking about. We're in 2 Timothy. And I asked the question, aren't we really Messianic Jews? As Christians, aren't we Messianic Jews? And my not my lead pastor, one of our teaching pastors says absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We're Messianic Jews.
Yep.
I would go along with that a little bit, but say that we're all spiritual Israel. We're all in Jew, Greek, Gentile, circumcised, uncircumcised. We're all included. We all been grafted in as the wild branch into the natural tree, and so we're all part of Israel. So we're all in essence Jews.
Well, that comes down to the end times with Israel, because I really have a heart for Israel itself. I know that Christ will return at some point in there. He promised that. I don't believe that if you're the person that believes if you're saved and always saved, that kind of concept, then the same application would have to apply to Israel. God doesn't leave anybody on the battlefield, and I don't think he'd done the same thing with Israel. I think he's worked with the hearts and minds of the Israeli people to change things there too. So, and a lot of people reject that. They say, "Well, no, they're done after Christ had done their thing. They're done. They're completely. God washed their hands of them." I can't believe that.
All right, Paul. Now you promised me you're going to go back to that next apologetics class. That's this Friday.
That's this Friday,
isn't it?
I don't know.
Look up Harvest Chapel, Harvest Bible Chapel / Des Moines.
Are you going to show up there too?
No. I don't have a desire to be an apologist, Paul. That's your dream. Don't drag me into your dream, Paul. I don't want to be in your dream. Me and your dream would be a nightmare.
Well, just because all apologists don't agree doesn't mean you can't be one.
Well, I realize that. That's why I always make my apology after doing my apologetics. 'Cause I thought he offended Frank there when I was talking to him about hell and things like that too.
Oh no,
no, it's hard. The only way you can really, well, never mind. I'm not going to tell you how to offend Frank, because then everybody will do it. All right, Paul. Thank you for calling in, and thanks for sharing your dream. And you go to apologetics classes. Come on. They're right there. I don't care if you and Ryan disagree. Pastor Ryan Jorgensen is one of the best-hearted men I know, and he's not afraid to speak truth into somebody's life, but he does it with love. So pursue that man, pursue that church, be a part of that congregation maybe, Paul, because that is a true learning church. They teach. Ryan Jorgensen is a teacher. They may call him a preacher. Maybe he's a good pastor. Maybe his bedside manner's great. But he's really a teacher. Like who? Who is the greatest teacher of all? Jesus. All right, 5:30, 4 o'clock. Alan Little is in our studio today. And Alan's here because he likes to dream big. And he wants to see people's dreams come true. So we're having a show today where you can call in or text in what your dream is. And hopefully there's somebody listening that can connect to you. We won't know. Maybe later you'll tell us if something good happens. But it's worth a try, isn't it? I'll invest my airwaves this afternoon if you'll invest your dream. Deal? 515-244-0077 or the Truth text line from Service Legends is 515-809-0993. Robert?
My dream is to build a successful home care business for my family that can advertise on the radio for a year and be able to pay for it.
To be able to pay for the advertising? Or to be able to make it worth time?
I'm thinking for the advertising.
Frank, could you give him a loan?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say to that. You've got a great radio station here, and I'm more than happy to have you on the radio. This is different than advertising on other stations. I will admit to you, I may do something. I may say something here you're a little uncomfortable with. But you have to have a good business. You have to be honest. When people hear an ad on this radio station, they assume, and they have every right to make the assumption, that it's a good business. In fact, they have every right to make the assumption that it's a Christian-owned business. Because one of the things, I don't know if anybody knows this, but we don't have one ad on our station in which a advertiser says, we're Christians and we're a Christian-owned business. We don't. That assumption is made, Alan, when somebody comes on this radio.
Yes.
So you want to advertise your home health care. We do not have a home health care sponsor, someone who underwrites us. I'd love to see you get some business. Contact me. Maybe I can help you on that dream. Oh, well, he said pay for it, too, didn't he? Right. Well, we'll figure that out. I'm going to cut Frank's pay in half.
There you go.
And take all that money and invest it in the advertising schedule.
Yeah, and mine.
Okay. No, Bob, you get a raise.
Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, here's another one. Good afternoon. My wife and I share a dream. Whoops, excuse me.
You read that one already?
I read that one already, so let me go to...
Take your time. I know that computer gets goofy
It just
for
keeps shifting on me here.
Well, it's because you're getting new texts in.
Yeah. Okay, it says... Okay, good afternoon. My wife and I share a dream to become owner-operators of a bed and breakfast. We are both 40-something, working professionals. Prayers and advice, please.
All right.
That's
I can tell you that in Urbandale, Iowa, I'm going to say it's about 70th Street. It's north of 8035. If you remember right there in that area, it goes under 8035. There is a large home for sale that would be a perfect bed and breakfast. Multiple rooms, multiple baths, lots of parking. There you go. There's an idea. There's one waiting for you to call. And you can't make anything happen unless you pick up the phone and try to call. Call Seth Walker. Hey, 577-5738. Call Seth. Have him show you that place. Coming back live with your dream next.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fix them problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're gonna make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
4:38, 22 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then Hank, the Bible Answer Man. 1-888-ASK-HANK. Somebody from Des Moines was on Dr. Michael Brown's show today and called in. Maybe we could have 2 people from Des Moines call in on another national show, and you could be on Hank, the Bible Answer Man. 1-888-ASK-HANK, and you should call now. You're going to sit on hold for a while, but he could only take about 12 calls an hour. He's only on for an hour. So you want to, what we call stack them. You want to get in early and be on the stack. Now, you'll have to put your phone down and maybe just listen to the radio for the next 25 minutes until Hank comes on. But when he comes on, you could be on.
I know that would be my daughter's dream, to be on with Captain Hank.
Seriously?
No.
Does she not like Hank?
Her and Hank don't get along well. They'll play well in the same sandbox together.
Did Jessica ever call Hank?
No, I don't think so. But she likes to throw things at the radio in the car ride home at Hank.
What does Hank say that she doesn't agree with?
She says he tends to beat up on her denomination, and she don't care for that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I got another.
Truth text line 515-809. Well, we got to introduce our guest. Alan Little is our guest. Yes. Alan inspired this entire show because his dream is to dream big.
Yeah.
You think if somebody's going to dream, don't grab the little one, grab the big one.
If anything, yeah. Could I share a short story?
Please do.
I was working in retail, and there was a man that came in, and he had fancy rings on. He had a nice car outside, big coat. And I'm like, wow, this guy's like obviously successful. He's making a name for himself. And so I was like, what's one bit of advice you can give to a fellow dreamer? You know, here I am working minimum wage. Just what's your bit of advice? And then he looked at me and he said, I've always dreamed of making $1 million by the time I was 30. You know, and I was like, okay. And he's like, and that was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. I was like, why?
What?
I was like, wait, what? And he said, I should have dreamt for $5 million.
Really? Is that Jerome?
What's that?
Or what's his name?
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said I should have dreamt for $5 million.
$5 million. And And he said, reach for the stars, kid. Never settle for the moon.
There you go. And what do I always hear? If you reach for the stars, you'll probably get the moon thrown in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly.
All right, 515-809-0993. That's the Service Legends Truth text line. What do you got, Robert?
Yeah, this is a big one.
A big one?
My dream is for 99.3, the truth, to rent a dunk tank, put Frank in the chair, and allow people to engage in debate with him, taking as many breaks as they want to throw baseballs. I'll be the first up. Sign, Chris John.
Chris John, all right. I love him. That's awesome. You know, Frank, Chris John, I can make that come true. No, I'm serious. Every summer at my church, we have what's called the Taste of Hope, and it's a big outside party, and everything's free. And one of the things we're thinking about doing with the Men of Hope, that's the men's ministry there, is letting guys get in the dunk tank. And so if you got your little boy there and dad there, and we'll put dad in the dunk tank, we'll give him a towel and shorts or whatever he needs, and then you can do that. So if in fact we do the dunk tank this year, if Frank will do it, because I have no control over Frank on Saturday. Well, I have no control over Frank, period, but I have none on Saturday and Sunday. And this will be on a Saturday. Is that okay? Is that all right? Could you do that on a Saturday? You could do it for ministry, couldn't you?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you listen. You came down to all the political things so you could be on the radio on Saturday. So you can come down and make Chris John a happy man. Chris John, the other thing is State Fair. I bet if you give those carnies a couple, $20, they'd let Frank go in the dunk tank.
Yeah.
Well, a
dunk tank. We don't want to send you that deep.
Yeah. I have heard that we receive little from God because we ask little from God.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But do you want to hear my dream?
Yeah, but I want to say something first.
Okay.
A guy asked me this question once, Alan, and it was a rhetorical question. He already had the answer. But I'll ask you the question and let you think about it, and then we'll go to Frank, and then we'll come back and have you tell me what the answer is. Okay? Now, I got to think to make sure I get this right. Oh, criminy. I got to think now. I think I just had a brain thing. I'm 57. What do you underestimate in your life? What do you underestimate in your life? You think about that, okay? Frank, you want to tell me what your dream is?
Well, yeah, kind of. You fulfilled a little bit of it. I would call it more of a passion than a dream. My passion and my dream is the second coming of Christ, going home. And as part of that, I got started haranguing a couple of local radio hosts, Bradshaw and Fallon, for a couple of years. And after just becoming dispirited with that, talking about politics, I really wanted an avenue to be able to openly discuss my faith on the radio.
Oh, no.
And so
you're telling me I'm fulfilling God's will?
No.
By having you on the radio?
This passion or dream that I have. And I was involved in talking on another radio network, and I had the operations manager. I had an opportunity to talk to the operations manager, and I asked him after a conversation that I had had with another gentleman who wanted to confront me from Ames, and we had sort of the Mouth of the South was running Marty Terrell was running the program over there, and
the Mouth of the Midwest.
Mouth of the Midwest, and we had a little match, and I thought I comported myself pretty well, so I asked the operations manager if he thought I had a future in radio, and he said, "Don't quit your day job." And I just felt like I had a little bit more passion and a little bit more energy and talent than he was giving me credit for. So I just took that advice and I tossed it over my back, and I said, I'm going to find a way to get on radio if it kills me.
So were you talking sports with Marty?
No.
Because Marty can't talk anything else.
No, he was in the interim of what was going on over there. He was subbing as the talk show host.
Yeah.
They drug him kicking and screaming from sports.
And so what was the conversation you were debating him on?
There was an atheist from Ames who wanted to confront me because he didn't particularly like me.
Was that Chris John?
No.
Oh, okay.
This guy was a guy from Ames, and he didn't think I was... he was in fact, I don't... Yeah, he was an atheist, but he was not Chris John. And Marty kind of promoted it as a boxing match. And he introduced me in this one corner and this other guy in the other corner. And we come out and kind of threw our blows. And then it was up to the audience to determine who they thought had won the battle. But after that, the operations manager didn't want me to engage in it. But then after Marty started promoting it on the radio, I called the operations manager and I said, "Do you want me to engage in this?" He said, "Yeah, go ahead." So I did. And after the conversation, I said, "What do you think I have a future in talk radio?" He said, "Don't quit your day job."
Well, I guess you proved him wrong because that guy's unemployed and out of the market.
Well, that's, and I'm potentially in the market. So much for somebody's dream-crushing advice.
Frank, you're not potentially in the market. You're in the market. You're on the radio. You're on the radio full-time on a Christian radio station that speaks truth. I would say that you've achieved your goal, wouldn't you?
Well, I certainly...
Haven't you achieved your dream?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, you have.
But
You're fired!
But in the future, I want bucket loads of money to pour on my head. So I'm going to do this to make this station so great and so magnificent that we just have money pouring out of heaven on our heads.
Frank, Alan, let me tell you how naive Frank is. I'm an individual who is not afraid of talking about death. I mean, why would you ever be afraid of talking about death? You know it's going to come, and you know it's going to be a glorious thing when this body dies and your spirit goes to heaven. So I have no problem talking about death. So I don't know what I'm talking about with Frank one day. We're talking about death or taxes or something. And he said, "Well, you better leave me your program in your will so I can continue the show." Wow. You don't leave your radio show in the will. So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave Frank my show in my will, and then let him fight for it. Because I've set him up for the big dream, right?
Yeah.
He's just got to go for it. Got to fight for it.
Got to earn it.
All right, 515-244-0077. We've got a couple of truth text lines open at 809-0993. Your text, your dream, coming up next with Alan Little on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
10 minutes for the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News. And then Hank, the Bible Answer Man, 1-888 Ask Hank. Call in with your questions. You might want to call in now. Get in the stack. Maybe Hank can take 12, 13 calls in an hour. We've already had one person from Des Moines on a national radio show today. That was Dr. Michael Brown's between 1 and 3 today. So perhaps you could be the next person to be on our station on a national show by calling 1-888 Ask Hank. That's coming up. My guest today has been Alan Little, and thanks for staying more than an hour. I appreciate it. Of course. What we're doing today is really simple. We're asking you what your dream is, and Alan's saying dream big, because if you dream big, you can get there. Yes. Doesn't mean that if you don't dream big, you won't get your dream, but I love what your buddy said. He said he prayed to God that he'd have $1 million in 5 years. Mm-hmm. And what did he do? He underestimated, and he should have asked for 5. Yeah. So I asked you a question earlier.
Yes.
What do you underestimate in your life?
The power of belief. That
belief in what? Jesus? In the power of your dreams?
Belief in dreams, belief in Jesus, the capacity that you could achieve with just a simple... They say if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Just a mustard seed. The thing about that quote is that also, if you eliminate all of the fear, and just if you have a mustard seed left, it's almost, and it'll be from impossible to inevitable, that what you want and what you dream will come into fruition. And it's just, life's about believing that. And I remember I read in one of the success books, and in a book it said becoming a millionaire was one of the easiest things I've ever done. Believing it could happen to me was the hardest.
That's good. That's a good quote. Mm-hmm. That's a great quote. All right. So ask me what I underestimate.
What do you underestimate?
God. That's how that guy answered that question that day. Blew me away. I underestimate God. I don't think he can heal me. I don't think he can make my dream come true. And I'm afraid to ask him, because what if he comes back and says, you silly little boy? But God would never say, you silly little boy. Right?
He wouldn't, never.
He'd say, I love you. And if that's a dream, if that's your will, if I can make it match my will, you want to work at a big bank, be an important person, you know what God will do? Just promise him you'll preach the gospel. Because it doesn't matter where you work, what job he gives you, as long as you're preaching the gospel. And you can do it without saying a word. You can do it without saying a word. 515-244-0077. Do we have any new texts in? All right, it's your dream that we want to hear about. I do want to tell you real quickly before we go, this is unbelievable. This happened in Ankeny, Iowa. Dateline Des Moines, an Iowa Department of Transportation driving instructor forced a customer to view sexually explicit photos and videos of himself during an exam and then threatened her to keep quiet. Can you believe this? This really happened. John Wayne Alexander of Ankeny is charged with felonious misconduct in office and harassment based on his alleged actions during a February 26th driving test. The 60-year-old abruptly retired from the DOT in March amid a disciplinary investigation. A 47-year-old woman seeking to have her license reinstated told police that Alexander instructed her to pull into the parking lot of Mills Fleet Farm store shortly after the test began. Said he wanted to smoke a cigarette. An agitated Alexander then gave his phone to the woman and said he needed her to delete several photos which showed him in quote-unquote various forms of, well, yes, I'm not going to say it. That's what the complaint states. Fearing for her safety and license status, the woman says she deleted the images. She gave the phone back to Alexander, who then forced her to watch a video of himself doing nothing or doing a horrible thing. 20 minutes later, Alexander instructed the woman to drive back to the DOT. He threatened the woman that he would lose his job if he told anybody, and he'd make sure she lost her license. Obviously, that didn't happen, but that's just if you've got a job that's that good, why would you, I mean, you know what it is? Let's pray for John Wayne Alexander, because he's sick.
I thought this was a put-up story. I thought she was going to tell me his name is Anthony Weiner or something.
No. No, but let's pray for John Wayne Alexander because this man's sick in the head. He's got demons. He's got the devil.
Well, these are allegations. We shouldn't jump to conclusions, supposedly.
Okay. He did retire from the DOT, but he could have done that anyway. He's 60. I know, you're right, Frank. It is allegations.
You could say if. You could still pray for him, but...
Yeah, we need to, because that's just, talk about the demons that are inside this guy. Spiritual warfare is a real deal. If you put yourself in a situation, playmates and playgrounds, where sin just abounds, I know it abounds everywhere, but it's less in this studio. It's even less in my church. It's even less probably in one of my pastor's homes. So there are places you can go and people you can be friends with where sin does not abound so greatly. But spiritual warfare is all around us. And remember that when you start a ministry, when you start doing something good for God and for Jesus, where you used to do good for the accuser, he's coming after you full force. And he will come after the thing that will disrupt your life the most. It may not be your ministry. It may be your marriage. It may not be the church that you go to. It may be the children that you have. It may not be the most important relationship that you've ever had. It may be one that you didn't know that he had sent that relationship to you, and you blew it. You blew it up. Why? Because the devil made you do it. Now, I'm not trying to be Flip Wilson here, because we all take responsibility for our own actions. Sinful nature, which some people like to call free will, but it's sinful nature, is your choice. But it is that of the accuser. Be cautious in your life, your playmates, your playgrounds. Try everything you can to not let sin abound you.
Well, you can be assured wherever there's an ounce of light shown on this earth by God, it will be attacked ferociously by tons of darkness.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right. Alan, thanks for being here.
Hey, very welcome.
Hi, Mom. Is your mom watching?
Yeah, she probably is. She texted me here and there.
Wave at the camera and say, hi, Mom. Right there. Right there's your camera.
Mom.
Hey, Mom.
If
All
you're
right.
watching, how's it going?
See, we just made your mom's dream come true. She just wanted to see your boy today. She's all hugging on you. She's all loving on you. I bet you she's got a tear in her eye because she can't believe you're doing this, man.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
All right. Tomorrow, who do I have? Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Both hours full. Looking forward to it. Some different conversations, and the conversations would be nothing without you. Thank you for calling in and sharing your dreams today. I hope some of those come true. I really do. Wouldn't that be wonderful, Alan, if you could come back in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and one of the dreams that we put up here today, God made come true.
That'll make this entire show worthwhile just for today.
Well, meeting Frank made it worthwhile, wasn't it? The verse.
Yeah.
Bob says goodbye. Frank says goodbye. Jebediah says goodbye. Alan says goodbye. And I say goodbye. Thank you very much for listening. We love this show. We love this ministry, and we couldn't do it without you. Remember, it's your suggestions that always keep this show going and going on the right track. Always feel free. You have my permission to tell me something I don't want to hear when it comes to this show. I want to be humble, which means I want to be teachable, and I want you to be my teacher. As always, today when you go home, forgive somebody, because as you forgive them, you will be forgiven. I'll see you at church.